Hey guys! Sorry it has taken so long to get this video out, but little man is fussier than my daughter ever was, so it's not that easy to get around or to do not needed things when he is not happy. So I'm going to try to do this while he's currently happy in the swing, talking at the TV, you know, that's cool, whatever. We're just going to try to get this done. So I'm going to go kind of over what postpartum has been like, and what his progress, since postpartum and whatnot. So we'll, bless you. So we'll, go over that while he's happy. So week 1, was very emotional for me. I was a wreck and I cried at everything, literally everything. I was constantly crying. And my husband was like, I think you're going through postpartum depression. I was like, no, I'm not going through postpartum depression. I'm going through hormonal changes. I was pregnant a couple days ago and now I'm not. So now my body's just like, oh crap. What do we do? Sorry, my nose is like randomly running too, which is fun stuff. I was very overwhelmed by everything, which I think was part of the hormones too. But literally just, I felt like I had to be the one to do the laundry. I had to be the one to do the dishes. Even though my husband was home, I felt like it needed to be my responsibility because it was my responsibility before having him. So it was a lot for me to take in that first week. I was very sore at times to the point of me being in tears. I wasn't in pain per se, but it just wasn't normal soreness. Like, he's looking at me, so I'm thinking he's gonna get fussy here in like 2 seconds. But yeah, and I was very swollen. My feet were the, like, size of I don't even know what, but I couldn't fit in any of my shoes unless they were flip-flops. Thank goodness it wasn't freezing cold outside, because I wouldn't have been able to go outside very much. And we had 3 or 4 doctor's appointments that week, so it was crazy. I think we had 4 in total because I had 1 too. So yeah, it was just a crazy week. And then for Jasper, he started out at 9 pounds, 14 ounces at birth. By day 3, he was down to 8 pounds, 14 ounces. By day 4, what did I say? By day 3, he was 8 pounds, 14 ounces. So he had lost an entire pound in 3 days. By day 4, he had lost another half an ounce. And by day 7, he had gained 2 ounces. So we were 9 pounds exactly on day 7. So yay, we had gained the weight we needed to gain to be on the right track. So at that time, he was at every 2-hour feeds, followed by supplemented a breast milk bottle. So I would feed him every 2 hours from start to start, and then I would pump, and then I would feed him, and then I would pump. So literally for the first, I think, 2 weeks, I was doing nothing but feeding him on the breast, bottle feeding him, and then pumping. Like, I didn't have time to breathe. It was so time consuming, and like that's probably another reason I was wanting to be like why I was in tears, is because it was just so stressful for someone who didn't get to breastfeed my daughter. Like, I thought this would be something easy, just put him on the boob and go. No, it's not that easy sometimes. Some babies just don't do what they need to do. Or you don't produce like you should, and that was my beginning issue. Was, I guess, oh no, he just was, I don't know what the issue was, but either way, we finally got it on track to where, yeah, we're just not there at the 2-hour thing anymore, and thank God for that. Week 2 postpartum, hormones were finally leveling out. They're still crazy every now and then, but they were finally leveling out to where I wasn't crazy all the time. I still had some sore days. And then I had some heavy bleeding days. They'd come and go, but mostly, I mean, that's a TMI thing. I mean, but most days, Oh. Most days my bleeding was light. I probably honestly didn't even need a pad or a panty, or I just needed a panty liner. But I don't remember it being that light with my daughter, so I would always just have a pad on because I was so terrified that I was just going to bleed on through, and I didn't want to have to deal with that. And then I put on here, breastfeeding is exhausting, so that's pretty much how I felt about it. Jasper, for him, day 10, he was 9 pounds, 4 ounces. And we moved to 3-hour feeds at nighttime. So thank goodness we were no longer every 2 hours all the time. Week 3, geez. I'm sleep deprived, obviously. Week 3, finally feeling normal. So I was finally back to somewhat feeling myself again. And that's, I don't know, I guess hard to come by postpartum. It takes a while to get back to that normal feeling. I still have my days, like I said, that I feel kind of blah. But for the most part, I feel pretty normal. Oh, you're not fussy. No, you're not fussy. No, you're not fussy. Still have bleeding some days at week 3. Some days it's non-existent. That's kind of how it's been this entire time. It's some days I have it, some days I don't. It's kind of weird, but whatever. I'm not going to complain because it wasn't anything like my daughter's. So, day 17 for Jasper, he was 9 pounds and 12 ounces. He moved to 4-hour night feeds and 2 to 3 hour feeds during the day, or on demand if on demand was sooner. Then he kind of developed gas issues. So we started him on some gripe water and probiotic drops. Those, we really couldn't tell much of a difference with the gripe water and probiotics, but we were still trying them anyways just to see. I mean, and even now, I mean, he still uses gripe water every now and then. I don't use it all the time anymore because, like I said, I didn't really see a huge difference. But if nothing else is consoling him, then we'll try the gripe water. Week 4, my milk supply randomly dropped. I was getting 5 to 6 ounces every morning and about 5 ounces throughout the day with when I pumped. And I was pumping after every other feed. And then it dropped to where I was only getting 3 ounces in the morning and about 1 to 3 ounces during the day. And that scared me because, I mean, when you have a big baby, big babies eat a lot more. So I was scared that I wasn't getting enough. And then there was actually days when he would be on me, like eating off of me, and then he would be just inconsolable, whatever. He just wouldn't be happy after he was done eating. So we would fix him a little bit more in a bottle and he'd be fine. Hey, buddy. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. He'd be fine after that. I tried power pumping. I tried upping my water. I started Gatorade. I pumped after every feeding and started, and none of that was working. And then I started something called Milk Flow. Hang on, I'm going to put my phone down so you're just going to see my ceiling for a minute. Here, come here. Roar. Roar. You ready? You want to be on camera? You want to be on camera? Got the hiccups. She's not happy right now. But then after trying all that, I tried Milk Flow. It's some kind of thing that I got at Walmart. It's fenugreek and blessed thistle, I think it is. And I took 2 doses of that in one day. And my milk supply the very next day was back to normal. And then I've been overproducing ever since then. So I'm not sad about it because he's happy and no longer hungry, as you can tell, Mr. Chunker Bunch. chunk-a-bunks. But yeah, so finally have that situated. Then I put for Jasper, he goes through phases of being awake for 3 to 7 hours at a time, which for a little baby I thought was very crazy, but he does it all the time. So, well, he did. He hasn't done it in a while, but he will go about 3 to 4 hours awake. Do you want to watch the camera? Sorry. I'm sorry. We'll make this about you then. We'll just have naked baby on screen. Okay? Oh, you don't want it anymore. Okay. So, and then he has his 6 to 9. He isn't happy during that time. About that time, sometimes a little bit sooner, sometimes a little bit later. But that's normally his, I'm tired, I'm hungry, and nothing is going to make me happy. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you try. And that is the hardest time for me. Like, that is the time where I don't know what else to do. I've tried everything. I know it's coming. I know that time frame. He is not happy with anything. But it's still, like, every day just exhausts me to the point of, I don't know, like, yesterday I was in tears because he was just so unhappy. And he won't take the breast at those during that time. I have to give him a bottle during that time because he is so unhappy that nothing makes him happy except for eating and sleeping. And the only way to get him to go to sleep is to have him a full belly. So he eats normally about 5. He'll eat on the breast for a little bit during that time. And then after that, that's his last time on the breast until the next day, pretty much. But that's kind of a newer thing. So we'll go back onto that in a little bit. But he sleeps all night other than for waking up to eat. Still got the hiccups. Still got the hiccups. So yeah, he sleeps all night other than waking up to eat. Postpartum week 5. This is another TMI spot, so if you don't want to hear it, just fast forward. Oh, you're getting fussy. You're getting fussy. You're getting real fussy. What's wrong with you? What's wrong? Oh. I think a random chunk of placenta fell out of my hoo-ha. There was no pain, but I hadn't been bleeding for like 3 days, and then after that fell out, I bled for a couple days. And the only reason I say it's not just normal whatever is because it was like grayish in color. Kind of looked like a piece of yarn in a way, but it was hard. It wasn't like a normal blood clot by any means. I talked to my doctor about it. She said she would look at, whenever she was examining me, she would look into it, and she didn't seem concerned by anything, so I guess everything was great. But, I mean, I haven't had any extra pain or any, like, excessive bleeding. I've just had normal bleeding. Then him, his 1 month old, he's 1 month old already, guys. Oh my gosh. He's actually going to be 6 weeks on Friday, and today is Wednesday, so he's over 5.5 weeks. At his 1 month old appointment, he was 11 pounds and 6 ounces. So he had gained 1 pound and some ounces, right, since his last appointment. So that's good. Or I guess 1 pound and 8 ounces since birth in total. Not in total, but since his birth weight, 1 pound and 8 ounces from birth weight, I think. And he was 22 1/4 inches, so he had gained a full inch from birth. And then, week 6 postpartum, I got the all clear for activities. My doctor said I was healing great. We've had his circumcision consultation. I know it's a controversial thing. We're doing it regardless. He's getting circumcised one way or another. But we had his consultation yesterday. Sorry, my bird is like freaking out. We had his, I know, hang on. We just had 2 more minutes. Hang on. Oh. But we had that yesterday. Those hiccups are making him mad. Hang on. Ooh, look at that. There you go. We had his consultation yesterday, and at that, he was 12 pounds and 2.9 ounces. He was 23 3/4 inches is what they said. I don't know how he gained an entire 1.5 inches in a week's time, but that's what they said he did. So one way or another, he's either off at the doctor's office or off at the circumcision place, the hospital. But they said at the circumcision place, well, okay, here's the big ordeal. Whenever he was born, his scrotum was so swollen that he couldn't have the circumcision because nothing was big enough at that time. He couldn't have it the way that the hospital did it. So we had to not get it done there. And then we were supposed to get it done before he was 10 days old. But because he was still on my insurance, the hospital that he was supposed to get it done at wouldn't take him for 31 days. They wouldn't even schedule an appointment until after 31 days. So then after his 31 days was up, because he was no longer on my insurance at that time, he then, that's when we took him to this appointment. So, okay, so that's 2 times that we haven't been able to get it. So now, yesterday at that appointment, he, was 12 pounds, and the surgeon said that because he is 12 pounds, he is too big to have the surgery done in office. So now he has to wait until he's 6 months old and be put completely under. I know, you don't want to hear that. I know, it sounds awful. But he has to be put completely under now because apparently 12 pounds is too big to get it done in office. Because apparently bigger babies have a higher chance of bleeding more than smaller babies do. I don't understand it, but I don't know. So now he will have surgery at 6 months. And, oh gosh, you just headbutted me. You just headbutted me. So yeah, he'll do that at 6 months and hopefully be done with it finally. But I'd rather get it done when he's little and won't remember versus when he's older and will remember. I know it's going to be tough. It's going to be a pain in my butt because I really don't want to have my itty bitty baby go under anesthesia and all that good jazz. But again, it's best to get it done when he's little, and that way it won't be as hard for him to recover from it. What is wrong with you? You are being really fussy. Well, which is nothing new, but he sleeps still through the night. Last night, we put him to bed. I think he put himself. Okay, he makes his own sleep schedule. It's somewhere between 8 and 9 normally, sometimes 10. But sometimes between 8. Hang on. Oh, I know, we're almost done. Sometimes between 8 and 10, I would say, he puts himself, well, not really puts himself, he has his last feeding, and then he goes to bed, and he is out like a light until he wakes up again. Last night, because I had to wake up early this morning, I put him to bed, and I did not set an alarm for every 6 hours like we're supposed to. I just let him sleep until he was ready. So he fell asleep about 9:15 or so. He slept until 3:40 this morning. So that was excellent. And then he wanted to be awake for an hour, which was fine this morning because I didn't have anything. Well, I mean, I had to be up at 4:30 and he was up at 3:40. So, I mean, by the time I was done feeding him, it was time for me to wake up anyways. Hang on, we're almost done. We're almost done. We're almost done. We're almost done. Okay. So yeah. But yeah, he sleeps good. He eats good. He is officially fussy. So we are done with this video. I will update as soon as I can update again. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will try to update when I can. Bye!